何にしますか?
Everything today comes from the Lawson convenience store.
いらっしゃいま
The
せ。
first thing I'm going to introduce today is this funny looking item. So it's called Bano kakun, which is braised pork hot pot in a cup. So I'm a bit skeptical about this one here. I'm not too sure. Braised hot pot in a cup. So this is a really popular food in Japan, and the chefs who make it take great pride. So what the heck is it doing in a cup? This is a family favorite in Japan. People cook it at home. They have their own family recipes. And if you go to a restaurant, the chefs are usually very particular about their secret recipes. Some people even cook it with Coca-Cola in their pressure cooker at home. So traditionally, this meat is super tender. You can just get your chopsticks and just cut straight through the meat. So I don't know whether they can do that in like a convenience store, a little heat up thing like this. So, okay, you might be wondering, what kind of meat is it? Well, it's made from pork belly. So to the untrained eye, pork belly may just appear to be a big chunk of fat and skin. However, once you cut it open, the layers of fat and the meat reveal an entirely different story. Beneath that layer of fat is a layer of delicious, sweet meat, which is full of collagen. What's collagen, I hear you ask? Well, it's part of the fatty bit of the meat, and it's also found in fish. Ladies in Japan especially are crazy about collagen because they say it gives them beautiful skin. So a really important part is when you're heating this up, see this white part in the top? You have to open this part up until this line and put it in the microwave. But remember to open that up, because if you don't, it could explode all over the place. This is full of meat and really juicy vegetables, so it could be a disaster waiting to happen. It says on the top here, beware of burns. The three basic ingredients are daikon radish, pork belly, and quail eggs. So if you've never seen a quail before, this is what it looks like. It's a funny little bird, but they produce these tiny little eggs, which in taste-wise, they taste almost the same as chicken eggs, but just like a miniature version. If you wanted to try and cook this at home, the basic ingredients are pork belly, fresh ginger, green onion, water, cooking sake, soy sauce, mirin, which is a sweet cooking sake, and sugar. So the best thing to go with these beautiful hot pot dishes is some nice, fresh, steamed rice. So I got this one from the 7-Eleven on the way here today, but you just stick this in the microwave and the two of them go together. Whew, it's gonna be good. But before we heat these up, let's take a closer look at what it looks like. So it comes in this really cool black, looks like a drink container, and it gives the important information on the top and on the side there. So you just open it up here until this little line, and there you go. Look at all that in there. And there's the rice I was talking about. So you just open it up like this, and it contains lots of fluffy, fresh rice. So the sauce is or the soup I should say, is very, very rich. You can see the little bits of ginger floating around in there. Look at the colors. And I was very impressed by the, oh, and there's the meat coming out now. I was very impressed by the color of the radish, which is a really important point in these kinds of dishes because they just soak up all the flavor. So that the meat looks nice and tender. You can see the little sinews just starting to kind of fall apart there, lovely and juicy. And there's the little quail's eggs, which have also soaked up quite a lot of the soup. So as I said, I like to put it on top of some nice fresh steamed rice and make it into a whole dinner and put a little bit of soup on the top and off you go. So look at that radish, the color of it. So this is usually plain white color. And you can either eat it with some chopsticks, a little bit difficult with chopsticks, so I tried it with a spoon and just get a mouthful of everything. And you can see it all comes together with the soup and the veggies and everything. Oh, but what's it going to taste like? So I've heated it up for about 1.5 minutes and it's really, really hot. So take off this, be very careful. And you can see it's just like a big soupy thing inside. So I'm going to pour it into a bowl just so you can see, so be careful because it's all going to splodge out here. Oh, look at that. See, it all comes out like this. So I've got my steaming hot rice, which you can buy in convenience stores too. And now let's take a look at the dish in question. So looking at it here, it just looks like a soupy thing. I'll give it a smell first. It smells really, really good. You can smell the pork and the ginger and all the kind of the spices or whatever's in it there. So I'm going to have a fish around first because I can't see any pork at all here. Pork, where are you? Come out. Ah, there you go. Found a piece of pork. There we go. So I've got one piece. I've got two pieces. Where's the pork? There's not much pork in here. Found like... Okay. So there's not a great deal of pork in here, to be quite honest with you. So that's a bit disappointing from the get-go. But look at that. It's just very, very tender looking. And I think we should just get straight in there and give it a taste. Okay, here goes. I'll be honest with you. I was expecting much more than that. It's not as tender as I had imagined. It doesn't actually look all that tender. So let's try and bite into it, just a piece just like this. Oh. That was a much more tender piece. How about we try some of this radish? So this radish looks almost like a dark brown color, so it's full of the sauce. It just soaked up all the flavors. Oh, ho, ho. No, I shouldn't really be saying this, but the radish is like 10 times better than the pork. And it keeps its shape, but when you put it in your mouth, it's just so tender. It just disappears, as I always say, it just melts. Let's have another piece. Now that's a deep, rich flavor. Should we try one of the little eggy things? Now let's try a quail's egg. I have to get this off. Now don't be dismayed because it's not a chicken's egg. These eggs taste just like chicken eggs, and oh. What's going on with this dish? The radish and the eggs are better than the pork itself. Okay, let's try on top of some rice. Okay, I've got some pork and rice. So yeah, it does go nice with the rice, a little bit better. Let's try some radish. Oh, the radish is just incredible. The radish is much better than the meat. Yeah, I'm going to say that's the verdict for this one. Be careful if you're going to eat these little eggs. They've got like a little kind of a toothpick, so don't just chomp into it. It's got a toothpick in it. So the price for this is 470 yen, including tax, and that's $3.19 US dollars, yeah? And it's 286 kilocalories. So it's a bit of a pricey one for what you're getting. This gets a 3-star rating, which is not particularly high. I was disappointed in the pork. It wasn't tender enough for me. It was a little bit small. The flavor was not too fantastic. But on the plus side, the soup was intense. The radish was unbelievable, and those little eggs were to die for. So if it didn't have the radish or the eggs, this might have gotten 1 or maybe even 2 stars. There's food for thought. Okay, let's get into a wee bit of dessert.
すごいですね。
A love affair with richness, a lemon eclair. So that's my rough translation of what it says in Japanese here. It's a nice play on words if you can understand the language. But so this is an eclair, and it's lemon flavored. So these kinds of eclairs and choux creams, cream puffs, whatever you call them, you'll find these in all the convenience stores. They have different varieties depending on the season. Now it's the summer, so apparently lemon is the order of the day. So just looking at this, it looks really good. It feels good. Let's take a close-up view. And you can see all the little pieces of lemon. That's real lemon, which is on the top of the icing there. And they're quite big chunks. They've not skimped on their lemon chunks there, so that's good to see. So when you cut it in half, you can see it's full of like lemony custard and cream. Look at that. And if you cut it in half again, it gives you the bird's eye view, and you can see it's got custard and cream all the way to the end of the eclair, so they didn't skimp at all there. There's nothing worse than biting into an eclair and finding out it's only got the cream like in the middle part. So this goes all the way to the end. And it's full of it. Look at that. So to make up for the disappointment of that pork dish I just had, I'm hoping this is going to hit the spot. Let's open it up and have a taste. So it opens really easy. It slips out. Out she comes. There we go. A thing of beauty. A thing of beauty indeed. So it's got a good weight to it. I can give it a bit of a squeeze there. Okay, let's give it a try. Oh, now this is really good. You know what you can taste the most? See these little pieces of lemon on the top here? These make such a big difference. Yeah, these little pieces, because it's real lemon, it adds this wonderful kind of citrusy, sweet citrusy flavor. And inside, it's got the creaminess of the custard. It's got real cream from the, what's that company again? Wataboku cream. So the whole combination, it's a well-balanced dessert. Let's go in for some more. So this has been sitting on the table here for like 30 minutes or something. So the cream has kind of warmed up because it's summer in Japan right now. So this room's kind of warm. Probably best to eat this straight from the fridge because the custard and the cream is going to be a little firmer, but still an absolute delight. I'm so glad I found this one. Let's have a bit more. The price is 170 yen, which is $1.15, which for me is very reasonable for what you get. It's a fair size and just enough, even for a big boy like me. The calories are 298, which, although it's not the lowest calorie dessert in the world, it's not too bad. Now, I was going to hold it up there, but I've already put it in my belly, so you can't see it anymore, so I'll hold up the wrapper. I'm going to give this 4 stars out of 5 because it just had a wonderful balance of different flavors, perfect for the summer. If I put it in the fridge for a little bit longer, I think it would have been even better. But yeah, definitely 4 out of 5. It's not getting 5 out of 5 just because it's not completely perfect. Nothing's perfect. When am I going to give a 5-star review? Okay, it's time for something to drink.
お元気ですか?
Mitsuya cider. Now this is not alcohol, it's a soda, it's a soft drink, but in a lot of Asian countries, for some reason, they call cider soda. Work it out, I don't know. But this is a drink which is super popular in Japan. It's not the first time I'm trying this. I've tried this a squillion times, but I really wanted to introduce this drink to you because when you come to Japan, you got to try some. Mitsuya cider was created in 1884. What a long history it has. But it was acquired by the Asahi Beverages Company in 1972. Since then, it's been a part of Asahi. Here's a bit of trivia. This drink gained a little bit of exposure overseas in the 1980s thanks to Rick Astley. He was the face of Mitsuya cider advertising campaigns here in Japan in the 80s. And here's a poster just to prove it. Look at Rick there, he's got his favorite drink, Mitsuya cider. You want some more trivia? Okay. See the mark, it's called Mitsuya. What does it mean? Mitsu means 3. Ya means arrow feathers. So Mitsuya basically means 3 arrow feathers. So you know Mitsubishi, the company who make cars and stuff, if you look at their logo, it's 3 diamonds. Mitsubishi, 3 diamonds. See, I'm not just a pretty face, you know. It comes in a variety of different sizes. Here we got the big one and the little one. I think it's 500 milliliters and I think that one's 300 milliliters. So when you open it up, it basically looks like soda water or maybe Sprite. It doesn't look particularly exciting, but it definitely looks refreshing when you put it into an ice glass like I did. Oh. So this is the perfect drink for summer. It quenches your thirst and it's just got a lovely light taste to it, which hits the spot every time. So let's give it a try. Okay. How does it smell? Smells like kind of a fruitier version of Sprite or something. Now, if I was to compare this to something like Sprite, because that's what it's most similar to, it's a little bit drier. It's got more kind of a lemon limey taste, crossed with kind of like a dry ginger ale. Do you know what I mean? It's not super sweet, although this is not the 0 calorie version. This is the full calorie version. There's no, what am I talking about? Anyway, now we're going to try it over some ice to see how that goes.
Okay, let's give this a try.
Oh, an absolute winner. You can't go wrong with that. Great for the summer, great for the winter, great for whenever. Just have it. This is a good drink. 162 yen or $1.10, which is pretty much the going rate for a drink in a convenience store. At 210 kilocalories, it's a little bit on the calorie heavy side, but I do believe there is a 0 calorie version. I'm going to give this a rating of 5 stars. If you're in Japan, definitely check this out. Mitsuya cider is a classic, which is the reason it's been around since 1884. Cheers. Today's totals are 802 yen or $5.44. Total calories were 794. Thanks very much for watching and we'll see you in the next one.